Today we're going to look at NECA from Guillermo del Toro's movie Pan's Labyrinth, The Faun. Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got one that nobody's going to know about, including myself. Now, I did see this movie, Pan's Labyrinth, and maybe I'll give a rundown on how I saw this movie. So you have to read, it's captioned, and I can remember like really crying at the end of this movie. Crazy stuff, and it stuck with me. And it was in the middle of the night. My wife was sleeping. I was in the bed, and I'm like, tears are rolling. Most of the time, I don't stay up for a movie. My wife is one of those people that can watch a movie from beginning to end, and she could be yawning at the beginning, swear that she's going to fall asleep, but she stays awake the whole entire movie. Well, that happened to me watching Pan's Labyrinth. It was such a good movie. I think it was the next day. When a movie is so good, you got to tell somebody about it. So the next day, my wife comes home from work. I tell her how good this movie was, and we watched the movie again. Well, she watched it for the first time. I watched it again, and at the end of it, we're both bawling again. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I've never been emotionally driven by a movie as this, Pan's Labyrinth. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. Now, I don't remember a whole heck of a lot about it, but I do remember it moving me to tears. I swear to you. So go ahead, watch Pan's Labyrinth. But this represents a character from the movie called the Faun. And again, like I said, I don't remember a whole lot about this. So I wanted to re-watch this before I did this opening, but I just don't have the time or the inclination to watch Pan's Labyrinth again and sit there and cry like a little baby. So let's take a look at the packaging. It says Pan's Labyrinth down here. And this must be the movie art because NECA does that a lot with their Ultimate figures. They use the movie poster. Over here you see Pan's Labyrinth, the Faun 04. What's that say there? I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read it. Let's see. It says Guillermo del Toro Signature Collection 04. On the other side, it's the same thing. Top, you see Pan's Labyrinth, and it does have choking hazards right there. Bottom, warning copyrights, labels, barcode right there. And on the back, here we go. We got a picture of the Faun, and you have your NECA logo up there, Pan's Labyrinth there, and a cross cell, believe it or not. So as we see, it said 04. These must be the four that they had, which is Santi, Pale Man, Faun, and Ophelia. And I think this movie is through the eyes of Ophelia, if I remember right. But again, check the movie out if you want to know more about that. And I will read the back here. It says, one of Guillermo del Toro's most visually stunning films, Pan's Labyrinth is a dark yet beautiful fantasy set 5 years after the Spanish Civil War. The insidious brutality of the real world continues to cast a long shadow, infiltrating even the fantasy world of 11-year-old Ophelia, who begins a terrifying reality-spanning journey after meeting a mysterious faun in a crumbling labyrinth. Her mystic quest crosses seamlessly from one world to the other, weaving a parable about the power and pain of innocence. NECA proudly presents the Guillermo del Toro Signature Collection. So that's what it says on the back. A little rundown. It don't tell you much about it. I'm telling you, you need to see the movie. But let's go ahead. I should show you this. It does have the flap like all our NECA Ultimates does with the Velcro there. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and cut her out or him out. We'll take it from the bottom. Now, I will say this has been in my bucket or bin of action figures to be opened up for a while. I got this. The reason I got this was because they were running one of those promotional sales where you buy 5 figures for $100. Well, they would have one figure that you really wanted and then a bunch of other stuff that you really never would have bought, which is this. I never would have bought this figure right here if it wasn't for that promotion. I think they're just kind of trying to come off of some of their inventory. So let's pull him or her out. Let's see, is there a backdrop? There is a backdrop in there. I guess I can pull that out. There you go. And here is that backdrop. Let's see, am I holding it right? I think that's the right way. So there you got some photo opportunities with that if you wish. Now, this is kind of weird here. Is anything tied in? Our figure's tied in with these big black ropes, which I don't think NECA does this anymore. So this might be an old figure. So I would really expect this thing to crumble and fall apart in my hands like our Alien figures do, our early Alien figures. Just not a big fan of NECA's early stuff. Let's go through accessories, which is this little kind of, I don't know what this is. Have no idea. You'll have to watch the movie. It looks like something that will go over the shoulder and carry that around. And then we get a satchel here. Very nice. And I'm glad I didn't rip this out by the strap because it looks very thin. Very, very, very thin. But that is a well-detailed satchel. I'm telling you what. It does not open. At least I don't think, but man, that is a nice, nice satchel. We'll get up close pictures of this stuff. Next accessory. Oh, it has an accessory cap on it. Here is your accessory cap to hold these last few accessories in, and it is a bone. Looks like a femur, possibly. And then we have one more, which is a knife, I guess a weapon, or it kind of looks like a knife that I would probably use in a sacrificial way if I needed to slit the throat of a chicken or a pig or a lamb or something like that. Is what it looks like to me. Now, let's go ahead and get the Faun out of here. We'll grab the Faun by his toe. Or his hoof, I should say, and the Faun has been resurrected. Empty coffin right there. Well, here we go. Let's go through articulation, and I'm totally 100% with the thin arms and legs on this, expecting this to break somehow. So let's take a look at articulation. There's virtually, here we go. We're moving around now. Not looking up or down much. It looks down more than up. Left, right. I don't know if it's going to go all the way around. I'm not going to tempt fate here. Shoulders, ooh, all the way around. And there is in there a single butterfly, but that's all the stretch you're getting out of that. Not a lot of stretch on this figure right here. Ooh, really tight. Oh, he has a single jointed elbow. He'll get a 90 degree, and he does pivot. That elbow does pivot, so he can throw his Nolan Ryan fastball. There is an ab crunch on here and a hula hoop waist. Are you kidding me, NECA? A lot of movement. Look at that. Look at that bend there. A lot of movement on that waist and ab crunch, that chest ab crunch. Let's check hips. Are very tight. Oh my goodness, that's the splits we're going to get right there out of this thing. And then it has a couple knee joints here. We have this knee joint, and does this one move? Yes, it does. But man, it does not. It goes down, but it doesn't come back but that far right there. And is there ankle? Yes, there is ankle movement. No rocker, but the hoof will flex up and down. And that's it on articulation. All right, let's look at this thing. Oh, I did not notice this. The feet, one is a hoof and one is like, I don't know, it looks like roots from a tree. This is very, very creepy looking now. Somebody might have been doing some bad drugs when they come up with this. And another thing I noticed that hits right out of the chute is a little wiener hanging down here. Can you believe that? I cannot believe it's got a little wiener. So I've been calling it a she. I guess, excuse me, you are a he. And looking at the face, it looks wooden to me. It looks very wooden, like it's carved. I'm not sure. I can't remember this thing in the movie, but the face looks wooden carved. It's got these big, like ram horns on top of the head, floppy ears, the beard, the hair, and everything else looks very tree root or trunk look, except for the little wiener there. And just not sure about it. I probably will never pick up the other three if they're even available still. Let's see if we can get this. We'll get the satchel over the head. There we go. He's got his satchel there hanging off. And then we get this, which I guess that'll hang off the other shoulder. And can he hold stuff? Yes, he can hold the bone or the knife. So I want to give him the knife. Again, like I said, it looks like a sacrificial knife to me. Some kind of crazy knife. There we go. How is that? Now, very, very creepy. I probably will give this to my grandson, and he can play. He likes having monsters, so it does look like a monster. He does play with the Alien action figure that I opened up by NECA on the channel, so I'm sure he's going to enjoy this thing. It's just very creepy, but I don't think it's going to last very long. Like I said, the legs are very, very thin. The arms are thin, but I'm surprised it did not break, but I am being very gentle with this thing. But that's going to be it for Pan's Labyrinth, the Faun, Guillermo del Toro's movie Pan's Labyrinth. Until next time, oh.